Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? Bienvenidos. Happy New Year. It's your boy, Ebot. And this is an episode of Toys in My Closet. And I really don't show my face a lot to you guys that actually follow me in the figure community or the figure scene. I usually show my face more when I'm doing video game related stuff. So I figure, why not? Let me do a New Year's video, wishing you all a happy New Year, giving you thanks for giving me support when you come check out my figure reviews, whether they're video game related or whether they're just related to any type of line. I've been doing this since 1979. I've been collecting. I was about 4 years old. I started getting my first Amigos from my parents or my mother at the time, because my dad was not in my life at the moment. He died when I was about 4 in an accident, right? So never really met him, right? But I had a stepfather that did raise me. Thank God. I'm blessed for that. He's a good man. He was a Dominican brother, and my mother Puerto Rican, so I got to, embrace all the cultures from both sides, both cultures, as I grew older, right? And I had a better understanding of multiple cultures in the Latin scene. Anyway, I figured I'll do a haul, or kind of like showing you guys what I got right before the tail end of the year, before Christmas hit, before New Year's, and into just recently, yesterday I think, when I went to Target and found a whole bunch of stuff as well. And I figured I'd show it to you guys. I'll share it with you guys and just have a little fun, right? And hopefully you enjoy it. I'm not gonna show you every figure detail for detail, or that I picked up a piece, but definitely I'll share with you what I got, right? As far as the figures go, and add it to my enormous collection that I have, that I'm running out of space, and that I have to try to liquidate. Having some coquitos, so happy holidays. This is my setup here, where I do my reviews, and I try to do the best I can. I try to do them in 4K. So, I guess I could start off with what I was getting right before the tail end, which was, I started off and I got the G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter, which originally I thought was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, but it turns out that it wasn't. And the figures out here, I never really reviewed them. Even though I'd like to have them out to review. He came out really, really good. He looks incredible. He did a fantastic job. It was just like he did, and when he came out like on screen on the G.I. Joe animated movie. Then shortly after that, I got before that, I got the Target Tiger Force Old Man Outback, which was I had pre-ordered for a long time. I even canceled it, and then I got a notification that it was available, and I actually reordered it, and it came in the mail. And then after that, I walked into Target, and I saw literally like 20 of them on the floor in Target's stores. I was able to help out a couple of other friends of mine get some, and get a few of them, right? Which was really cool. And here he is right here. He came out amazing. I have him on a NECA stand. He looks fantastic. A lot of people reviewed him, so I figured I don't really need to review him. Even though I can give my own take on it. But it's cool because he's old man Outback, just like a lot of people loved Old Man Logan. The regular version of him is coming out this year, scheduled to come out this year, and he looks great too, and he's young. So it's really cool because it feels like you have distinctive figures even though it's the same character. So I don't feel like you're just buying the same character over again. Shortly after that, I got Zarana, which that was surprising. Didn't expect it. Got a notification. Or not even. I saw a video. Somebody was unboxing. I wanted to say it was... I think it was T-Man. Shout outs to him. I think it was T-Man 978. And then I looked at my Amazon. He was saying it was starting to ship. And sure enough, the notification was there that it was starting to ship out. And I was like, whoa. She was coming 2 days afterwards. And here she goes. I got my Zarana, which she came out really great. I still intend to review her too. Most of these Joes, they look fantastic. And somewhere during that duration, it was weird because I got another notification where I was like, whoa, what is this? Because this was pre-ordered during the summer and I didn't see it coming. But they gave me a notification that this bad boy was coming. And I was like, what? And sure enough, I thought it was a lie because people were finding them in GameStops in Canada. And that is the Serpentor with the Air Chariot, which I do have the 3.5-inch version as well. So, having a chance to review him, but he came out magnificent as well. Here is a thing, I have him on a neck stand too. He looks fantastic with his scaled, snake scaled, what you call it, cape. He looks great. He's taller than all the other Joes the way he should be, because that's what he was in the animated movie, which was where he was introduced for the first time. So I have him there on deck. Then after that, I believe I got this bad boy here, which was Dusty. And Dusty, again, this year for G.I. Joe was real, it was lackluster, but for some reason, somehow, Hasbro just managed to get all these figures out right before the tail end of the year. And they were like, oh yeah, here, take this, take that, take this, take that, take this, take that. And even before that, I had just gotten, prior to that, but it was like in October, like during my birthday, or November I think it was. So here's Dusty, looking absolutely dope. Really cool, really awesome interpretation of the vintage made modern with the vintage style and aesthetic. But before that, I had gotten the twins, which was Zamax and Tomax. That was like in November, end of October, and I had gotten the Sergeant Stalker, which I also haven't been able to review. And then you guys, then after that, the last one I had gotten from G.I. Joe was none other than Dr. Mindbender, which was put to a pre-order during the Comic Con, which I believe was San Diego Comic Con. And I was like, wow. And he started coming out as well, which I didn't see coming because I didn't really know about it. And so I got him in hand. Here he is. He looks awesome also. From here on deck too. I was trying to put him where he was holding his eyeglass. Here he is right there. He looks awesome too with his sheen on his cape, looking leathery. Only thing, he doesn't have the Cobra symbol in silver like the 25th and the vintage. But as far as the figure goes and like the face sculpt and stuff, it looks tremendous. You're not going to see the clarity here because this is the 1080p camera on the other side. So then following that, I got my Christmas gifts from my kids, or some of them, which was Donovan, shout outs to him, and my daughter Anastasia, shout outs to her. And they got me a bunch of different Power Rangers that I wanted from the Lightning collection. So it started off with the Dino Fury Green Ranger, which these were all in Big Bad Toy Store, right? I had that one. I had gotten my hands on the Beast Morpher Yellow Ranger. Well, she looked really nice as well. Got her on deck, her back portrait. Then I got the Lost Galaxy Green, as you can see. It's played by the actor here. I don't know his name, because I was never really a big Power Ranger fan as far as the shows. But these figures are awesome from Hasbro, and they are supposed to be ninjas. And as I said before, here's the figure here. My son, growing up, liked Power Rangers, so I was very aware of it. But he was into the Mighty Morphin. But they've made so many different ones where I think they, they were cheesy, right? But as far as the look of these figures, I think they're absolutely incredible. And I think they are, worthy to own. So they do a nice job, even though the price has kind of gone up. Part of that Christmas gift as well was tribute. These are not open, but the tribute to Street Fighter with Power Rangers collaboration crossover. So here I have the Mighty Morphin Chun-Li Blazing Phoenix Ranger, and she looks really dope. I believe the other two, which is based off Cammy and Ken, are coming out this month, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I'm trying to get another one. Sorry, guys. Then I got my hands also part of my kids' gift is the Mighty Morphin Ryu Crimson Hawk Ranger, and these come in a nice box, a lot wider than the traditional Power Rangers box. As you can see, it's a lot wider, and it's in the enclosed box with the actual portrait of the figure and not the window display. But I got those directly from Big Bad, so I knew I wasn't going to get a dud, because Big Bad is very good with their quality control and how they get figures out to their consumers. During that venture, I also have picked up along the way I picked up the RDA Sea Wasp vehicle from Avatar, The Way of the Water, or Way of Water, because I love vehicles that stand out, and these are from obviously the James Cameron movie, which has a lot of designs that are very similar to the designs that he had in movies like Aliens. So I really like when you can have those maquettes and designs of actual vehicles like that. I also have bought earlier before that the Neytiri and Sully figure from McFarlane, which are excellent. Which Neytiri is actually going to be one of the figures that will be included, and Sully could have as well, in my 25 most or best figures of the year, because she was really that good, believe it or not. Then other surprise, which I did a review in my channel, was out of nowhere. I got the Storm Collectibles Virtual Fighter Esports Edition of Akira Yuki, which I did a review. You can check it out on my channel. He's still here on display back here. It's an incredible looking figure, an incredible detail, and the effects, which was awesome. So I got him. Then also part of the gift that I got from my kids for Santa Claus, right, was this one as well, which is the Time Force Blue Ranger from Lightning Collection that comes with the Vector Cycle. And this was also from Big Bad Toy Stores, as you can see. Really nice looking box. And that one came damaged or defective, which a lot of people that got it actually got defect on this figure. And if you can see here in my figure, he has 2 left hands instead of 1 right, 1 left. You see how it looks backwards right there? And the gauntlet is even backwards. He has it inside on both sides, and on this side he has one as well. So he has 2 left hands. So I asked Big Bad for an exchange, and they were awesome. They said absolutely, and they're not even, they're not even making me return the one that I already have. They said I could just stay with that one. I was like, wow, thank you so much. Which is great, which is cool. Then after that, I got another figure, which honestly, I didn't think was going to come out this early, because this was also a notice out of nowhere, because I saw somebody reviewing it on YouTube, and then I was like, check my pre-orders, and sure enough, it was there, and it's the Mezco 112 Crow, Eric Draven from Mezco. And the thing is that I plan on reviewing this, but I think I'm going to sell it, because I got the Sideshow collectible one that I reviewed on my channel with my son, because they re-released it and I always wanted it. Never got it, and finally got my hands on it. My son and I went half on paying it, and that was a nice premium price. It was like $260 with the shipping and everything. But this is on the 16 scale that looks and feels kind of like a hot toy, but in reality it's not, but it is, right? But it's 6 inch form, which with the 1/12 scale, not the 1/6. But if it's really, really good, maybe I'll consider keeping it, which is not good, because I don't need more space limitations. But you know how the fig collecting scene is. It's like, you're like, oof, damn if you do, you damn if you don't. Then I got bittersweet, because I got what probably would have been my figure of the year had not been for the issue that it has, and that is my Mondo 1/6 scale He-Man, Ultimate He-Man from Mondo, which comes with the Thunder Punch He-Man attire and the Battle Armor He-Man attire, as a lot of you know, and you can swap it out, and it's basically 3 figures in one, which I thought was an excellent idea and execution, and very consumer friendly. But he is a $260 figure. But here's my problem. Like a lot of people, when I turn it, he detaches, because the peg here that he has is very small, the ball. So it doesn't hold when you're trying to turn it, and it comes off immediately. So what would have been my probably #1 figure of the year, because he is that good, absolutely. The paint job, the execution, the accessories, the options for display, all the things that he comes with, the cloth goods, as you see here, the cloth goods on the crotch, and even on the boots. Believe me when I'm telling you, this figure, for any real He-Man fan, it is the definitive version of a He-Man figure in 12-inch scale. But because of that defect, unfortunately, I couldn't really put him in, or I'm not going to put him in my upcoming list. But I did get him right before Christmas. Also, same thing, just like the Crow. A lot of things that I had pre-ordered for a while, they just started hitting, bam, 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 back to back to back, which was crazy and very overwhelming. Because my wife started thinking that I was just spending money like crazy before Christmas, and she was about to give me a DDT like Jake the Snake, WWE style, right? So I was like, oh dear God, help me. So fast forward, obviously, we're in the new year, and I really don't typically like going to the stores to check, because a lot of times, or most of the time, right, as you collectors know, when you go to the store and you go and check right after the Christmas season, everything's empty. Everything looks like, in every store, every toy aisle, It looks like it got hit by a tornado, and there's never any inventory. For some reason. It's always been that way since I was little, as far back as I remember. But oddly enough, I walked in the store 2 days ago, and I hit the mother lode, quite frankly. I found everything and anything that I didn't think I needed to find, that was going to find, and that I didn't need to find because I'm broke. It's just made me broker. But, you know, somehow, some way, with the love and help of my kids and my clever, you know, trying to figure out how to budget certain things, I figured out a way to do it, right? Like I usually do. And I found all the stuff I'm going to show you. But before I do that, I also forgot one more fig that I have found. And it is the Anime Heroes Digimon Omnimon, I think, figure, which is really, really awesome. I saw him in the store before, like months ago, and I didn't really pick it up, but I thought it was a cool looking, different design, very anime style. So I like, let me pick one up just to see how they are, because the Anime Heroes usually tend to do a good job. I got in almost all the Dragon Ball Dragon Stars, which I stopped because, you know, I just want to sell it. I don't have space, so I want to just sell them and get rid of them. For anybody interested, you can hit me up because I have almost every figure from the beginning. But anyway, very good figure. And the reason why I wanted them after I saw them was because I saw the review that Anthony's Customs did. You know, and Anthony's Customs is one of those dudes that he's been doing this so long that it's not easy to convince him with figures. He's very jaded, and he just like, he'll tell you like it is. If the figure's not good, he don't like it, or when he finds anything, he complains about it. And I may not agree with him all the time, but I understand where he's coming from. And I think it's from a good place. I think he means well, whether it may come off as he's just being a dick sometimes. And I don't think that at all about the guy. I just think that's the way people may think. And he comes off as, because he's straight to the point. But his review, I trust most of his opinion, because he has solid ideas and like I said, in solid opinions, and he's pretty accurate most of the time. Even though he may talk about anatomy stuff, things that I really don't care about, like when he'll say that the disproportions of heads and things like that don't look right. Like, I don't really bother by that, because I know when certain things have to be like anime style, and I get it. So it doesn't really bother me. But because of his review, I end up picking it up, and it's only a $20 figure, and I got it on like for a decent sale price. I think it was like $12, and it's dope. It's a dope little figure. Maybe I'll buy the other two just to have that set, but that'll be it. But maybe I won't. I don't know yet. So when I went in yesterday, I found a bunch of other stuff, and this is what I'm going to show you now. So I'll start off with this, even though I don't know if I'm going to keep it, because again, I want the original. I don't really like this version, but it looks fantastic. I can't lie. And that's the Tiger Force G.I. Joe Classified Series Bazooka. And I saw in a lot of videos that a lot of people found him particularly, but not the Recondo or the other Viper or Python Patrol officer, Cobra officer, which I got a notification that I'm supposed to get him by January 20th, which I had him pre-ordered for like almost 8 months. But he looks great, so I think I'm going to sell him to another friend of mine. If not, I'll just take it back, get the money. But he looks great, so I did find him. So I picked him up just in case I changed my mind, because it is a G.I. Joe Classified Series figure. And to be honest, almost every single figure that I've gotten from the G.I. Joe Classified line to this point has been absolutely fantastic. I haven't really had any complaints with it. So I did find, finally, in my life, first time ever, that I have a legitimate 100% Shawn Michaels when he went solo, after he wasn't no longer in, tag team, with his original costume, because I only like collecting my big wrestlers that I grew up with that have original costumes, like Shawn Michaels. There he goes. He started hitting shorts, and I heard there was a Shamrock, and I didn't even know. I didn't notice it was there, and I see it now here in the back. Kim Shamrock, which he was one of my favorites, brolic, fast, very athletic, old school style of wrestling with grapples and stuff. And then he has his brother, I think it was too. But I think he has his original green attire. If I find them, I like to get them. I only collect wrestlers. I'm a cherry picker when it comes to wrestling. The ones that I grew up with, like back in the day, like if I saw a Coco Beware, even though I have one, something like that, right? I wanted to get this Big John stud and never got my hands on it, and I missed out. So I found that alongside the bazooka. Then I had ordered before that on Big Bag Toy Store, which I got mine on Big Bag Toy Store right before the holidays. Well, it was shipped out before the holidays. It was available before the holidays, but I didn't get it until after the holidays. But when I went into Target, I found the whole wave. So I'm going to kind of include it like it was in the wave, even though it was actually something I ordered because I did find it in Target. And I'll start off with the Masterverse, Masters of the Universe Frosta from Princess of Power. Beautiful artwork there. I don't know if it's Nate Barch that did it or Iman O'Donoghue. I don't know who did the artwork for this one. I gotta look. But anyway, as you know, the Masterverse figures are absolutely killing it. And they look incredible. And she looks great. And basically, here she goes. And I have the Classics one. But I think this one, as far as proportions, pinless joints, even the face sculpt itself, is more of feminine. It looks fantastic. And I think it's even better than the Classics, which I also have. Not to knock the Classics. The Classic one is beautiful as well. But this one, I think, is better. Plus the white on it is more white. And her boots area and gauntlet area of her, what you call it, of her gloves are more pearlescent, like a pearlescent white. And a nice touch that they did was that her hair, when you dump it in hot water, it turns into a nice lighter color than this. It turns to like the color of the actual cloth cape. And then when you put it in cold water, it goes back to like a nice, really blue, like the way it is here. Like a solid blue, a teal. So I got that. Then I missed out on this on Walmart.com. I thought it was just going to be a Walmart.com exclusive only. I didn't know it wasn't going to, that you were going to find it somewhere else. But it turns out that I guess after this year, it was only for a limited time. Again, I walked in Target yesterday and I found this. Masters of the Universe Origins. Mechanic 2-pack with the Road Ripper. And yes, it's not called the Road Ripper. It's called the Ground Ripper. But for me, it will always be the Road Ripper. I guess because they patented that name, they couldn't use it, so they changed it into the Ground Ripper. But that is Road Ripper. And it doesn't have the pulling, beautiful artwork. It doesn't have the pulling mechanism, but the Road Ripper is a vehicle. And like another thing I would like about the Origins vehicles that they did was they made them a little bit bigger than the original, so that you can actually use them and scale them, or at least I choose them and scale them. Not that they did it purposely, but you can use them with any of the Masterverse Revelations or even Classics figures. They might look a tad small or too big, just a tad, but it still works. And the cool thing about that is Road Ripper was never made for Classics. It hasn't been made so far for Masterverse, which is the line that houses everything and all factions He-Man, which started with Revelations, which I love. And so I said, let me get it, because I want all the vehicles. If they make Bashosaurus, the Laser Bolt, the Blaster Hawk, Fright Fighter, Monstroid, there's still quite a few vehicles they never made. Dragon Walker, the Attack Track, for Christ's sakes, which was one of the main vehicles with Battle Ram, they never made it. Or even, what was the other one I was thinking of? Dragon Walker. Or even a Battle Bolts, which the last one they made was on the 2000X. Then I'll definitely want to pick it up. So moving along to try to speed up the process. Even though I had this pre-ordered in Target forever, still haven't gotten it. I picked up none other than Sunman, which is part of the Rulers of the Suns, which is now a faction that is part of Masters of the Universe. This existed back in the day in the era of vintage. This was created by a mother that was African American, black woman raising her child. That he was like, why wasn't the main character or main hero or superhero, black predominantly? There was not really a lot of black characters in He-Man, and so she created this line, got it patented and everything, created her own line using the same buck style and everything. I guess she got permission to create it for her son so he can have it. And I guess I could understand. Me personally, I don't really care if the main characters that are of any ethnicity is welcome. I don't look at it in too deep like that, but it is a cool story. It is a nice that it came to reality, and it is nice to add him to the collection because he's a really dope character. He's very different, but he fits. He's like a Hawkeye or a Hawkman to the He-Man universe, which I don't think we really had because Stratos is the winged warrior, but he didn't really look like a Hawkeye type character, and I thought that was cool. So I definitely got the Origins one. Now I picked up the that's the other artwork on the side for Masterverse, and here he goes right here. He has beautiful colors. He pops the wings, and that's my dude right there. I put him looking down, so his eyes, he looks mean, like he has a grunt, got with a cool shield and his weapon. I definitely like this version way better than the Origins, me personally, because the Origins is more for the retro vintage style. This is more for, I think, it caters more to, us as adults now, right? So the line kind of grew up with us, literally, not figuratively. So moving right along, I went in there and also found the Masters of the Universe movie He-Man, which the head sculpt in the promotional shots looks horrendous. In person, it looks much better, but I don't like the face style that he got. Because his face, he looks more I don't know, he looks almost like a gargoyle, his face. But it does come with an extra head sculpt. But what? And there's the artwork, which if you put it together with the next figure I found, which is, yes, it's the Master of the Universe movie Skeletor. Who's this Frank Langella portrait? Looks better, without a doubt. I don't care who gets upset. Way more accurate than the Super 7 version. And that's a fact. Whether you want to argue that or not, you could argue all day until you turn green. This portrait looks way more accurate than the Super 7 version. But for some reason, the factory Super 7 uses, when they do the characters, even though they look 100% accurate, most of the time during the promotional shots, when they show them, right? By the time they get made and get to your hands, for some reason, a lot of that detail and a lot of that accuracy has gotten lost for whatever reason. That now that's starting to happen with some people that saw the actual figures of Duke for G.I. Joe from the animated series. He looks horrendous compared to the way he looked like in the promotional shots. Let's see if they fix it before it releases. Still not out yet, but I know they did show the actual finished product in one of the cons, and it wasn't looking good. So basically, with the artwork, what you do is the idea is you put them together, and it's depicting the scene at the end of that movie, if you guys saw it, where He-Man and Skeletor battle it out for the powers of Grayskull and to save the day. Well, He-Man anyway. So I found those two. I saw a couple people reviewing them, saying they found them, and I just happened to walk in. Like I said, they were there. Then next was the Evil-Lyn, and she was the one that I think was the most scarce, that they didn't have a lot of, or that they bought fast. And this is the Sorceress Evil-Lyn, when she turns into an evil sorceress. In the Targets. This one I got from Big Bad, but I saw one, but it was only one. Even though they had a bunch of Stratos, a bunch of Robotos, and she was the only one there on the shelf. But this one's mine that I got from Big Bad. But I'm just showing it to you because, again, she was there in Target, and I think you can get it through the app right now. Then next up is none other, not last but not least, but none other than your boy Roboto, which looks dope. This interpretation of Roboto is from Revelations, which I love all the Revelations design. They remind me a lot of 2000X, and I love that they were more anime style, more adult-like. He's only really missing one of that cloth that they put on him, but that's okay because if you buy an extra Andra, you can probably finagle it and put it over him like a cloth. Even though Andra is a small figure, he's way bigger, bulkier. I don't know if it'll fit, but you guys know what I can do. You customize it, see what happens. Then next we have, which they had a ton of here, none other than the new Masterverse New Eternia Stratos, which is basically the design from comics, from old, designs from the Mattel when they were creating the toy line. But he looks incredible. I love the way he looks. And he got extra pieces that make him look like this, which I think he looks phenomenal. I like that look. I think that's how I'm going to keep him. It makes him look modern and badass. Look at that artwork. Oh my God. Stratos is one of those characters when you were little, he was kind of boring looking, and you really didn't have an interest for him. Just like Jitsu, but they made him so cool looking. And now he's one of the badasses, right? In the line. Then I found none other than this boy. And this one I found by luck because when I first was there, he wasn't there. Then I went to the bathroom, did some other stuff, told the people in the front to hold some of the stuff because I had to go to get some stuff out of the car that I forgot. Came back in and said, well, let me check for something else really quick. I think it was the NECA section. And when I went back there, they had just put them out. And there was like at least 10 of them. And this is none other than Too Bad from New Eternias as well. Which this is a beast of a figure. It's just as big, if not bigger, maybe by a little bit, than Beastman. And he has a plethora of accessories from the 2000X to the comics to the New Eternia, from classics, origins, everything. Anything you think of. And they even changed the size of how the height of each other. Usually, it's my man, what's his name? I forget his regular name when he was singing by himself. He's usually the taller one, and the other guy in purple is usually the shorter one, which I forgot their name. I think this is Tovar, and this is Badra, if I'm not mistaken. Tovar is usually taller, but in this case, he's not, which is very cool. I have the classics as well, which I will be reviewing him. I think after I do the Hordak one, and I'm going to show you the comparisons in that review. With as far as the differences between the classics and obviously that one. And so I think this was the last piece. No, one more thing I had before the last piece is I found my man here. He's I forgot his name. I think it's Point Break is his name. He is part of the vintage line from the Transformers Legacy, one of the vintage, and they made him, into modernized Legacy, to the Legacy line. And I only collect the Transformers that were part of the vintage line in the era that I grew up in the 80s. When they make them into new updated forms, I like to get only those guys. I don't like the Beast Wars stuff. I don't like the Insector stuff. When they be insects, I don't like none of that stuff. I think that whole stuff was all garbage. Even though they say that the stories of the actual, oh my God, what you call it, the actual cartoons, they're supposedly really, really good, but I just don't like the designs. I don't. Then last but not least, another piece I found, also from McFarlane, which this movie was incredible. It's really, really good. I highly recommend to you guys to go see it in the theaters. You have to see it in the theaters. Even if you didn't like the original. This one was so good and so much more in depth, beautiful, and emotional, and personal. And that was another piece from Avatar: Way of Water, which is the Seat Ops crab suit. And this is actually a crab-looking submarine that they use to fight the, sea avatar people, which are called I think they're called the Naturians, I think called Naturians, something like that. It's something like that, but excuse me for that. And it's really cool. It looked hyper cool in the movie. And again, it's just I wanted to have a model of it, just to use it as a spaceship model, kind of like with what I do with, the Star Wars vehicles. Here's the back. Has a nice effect. I put it on black light on it. And this is a big piece, and it was only $40. Like typical McFarlane, he always does stuff, at a high quality price, and or high quality, like he gives you beefy figures and puts it at a very good price. So I really love that. There's one more thing I got to show you that I got, and that's really my last piece. So give me 1 second. So we're back, guys, and real quick, there was 2 more pieces. This I picked up like right before the holidays, and I got it on a nice price, which is the McFarlane Toys Page Puncher Captain Cold, which is a new interpretation in the comics of Captain Cold, which he looks obviously way nicer than he did as far as the design with the original vintage. Now, if he makes the original vintage version, which he probably will, I'll be honest, I'll probably just keep this guy, right? But I'll keep him as a different character, if anything. Then, last but certainly not least, I got the classic version of McFarlane Toys Dead Man. He comes with some awesome spiritual effects. He's like a witch doctor, I believe, and he looks incredible. I had the Dead Man from Icons, the Dead Man from Classics from Mattel, and I put them up for sale for both. Once I saw this was coming out, I'm like, I don't really need any of the other ones. This is basically a definitive version in the 7-inch scale from McFarlane, and I basically don't need them. So I put them for sale, picked them up because they had them there. Excuse me, yesterday. They also had the Shazam from the Zachary Levi's Shazam 2, which is I think called Fury of the Gods. And then they had the Aquaman, which is the new Build-A-Figure for this year. But I didn't like the way the mouth was too open. If not, I would have swapped them out and just got that one and got rid of the first one that you brought out. Plus the orange on him was darker, black hands, and it was the Build-A-Figure is Cyborg, classic Cyborg, which sucks because I definitely want that Cyborg. Now I got to figure out how much it's going to cost to buy just the torso in the aftermarket, because I don't want the Aquaman. I don't like the way he looks, even though he might look cool for others. I just don't like the way he looks. So it is what it is. So guys, that is it. That is my pickup, my hauls, my unboxing of everything I got from the beginning of December, ending of November, into the new year, in which is things that I got for Christmas, and pre-orders that came in, things that I found in the store right before the actual end of the month and holiday, going into the holidays, like Christmas Day itself, and into the new year. So I hope you liked it. Let me know what you guys think. I know it was a little bit long. The video will be long-winded, but I wanted to share it with you. I hope you enjoy what I got. Share with someone you think might like it, this video. Give me a thumbs up if you like. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like. Let me know what you guys got from what I got that you're getting yourself, or you perhaps got it also, you found it yourself at the local Targets. There's been a lot of stuff they dropped, you know, new Playmates Turtles and a bunch of NECA stuff. What you call it? A new Marvel Legends like crazy. Even though I'm not really collecting that stuff, unless it's a specific one. I would like to get the what's her name? The one with the 3 hands, with the baby blue and the white. I forgot her name. Spyro. I would like to get Spyro because she is part of the vintage, and my son had the Marvel Legends Toy Biz one, and you know, got rid of it, so we need her in the collection because he's the one who likes the Marvel Legends. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Share your thoughts. Hit the notification button on my channel so that you get notified anytime I put up a new video. You can find me on any social media platforms. Hit me up there whenever you like. You can follow me on any of those or online, like Xbox Live, PSN. It's all down in the description below. And like I said, like as always, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for you guys. I want to do a giveaway in the channel soon. As soon as I get more money, I'm going to do something nice to give my gratitude back to you guys. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. And like I said, let's make 2023 a big year. I hope we can do big things in the channel and keep it growing with content like this and more, without hurting the pocket, without hurting the social life, the bank, or your personal life, right? And having fun, which is the most important part. Still having fun. That coquito's starting to hit on me. I'm feeling tired. But anyway, guys, love you. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what you think. Like I said, down in the description below or in the comment section. This is your boy and your host, Ebot, signing off with a unboxing haul of Toys in My Closet. See you soon. Bye-bye, guys.